I'd like to welcome a new member for us tonight, Lee Nelson. He's going to be sitting in the office, in the audience. Thank you. I'd also like to congratulate Selectman Dave Woodson and Planning Board member Dwayne Prescott on winning last night's elections to the Senate and House of Representatives. So Waterboro is going to be well represented. Please keep the conversations to just one conversation at a time. Our last meeting ended in total chaos, and we were unable to get any kind of record from that. So, for the sake of the record, please. Our first appointment tonight is Laurie Davis for a setback reduction. That's something that we did a sidewalk on. Was it 2 Saturdays ago? Frank, Andy, and I went out there. It looked pretty straightforward to me. So I'd make a motion to approve it.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor? Thank you, Steve. Next one is also a site walk we did on the same day. That's for Patrick Burns. One thing on that lot is his building envelope is extremely tight, and he's going to need a surveyor. He's going to be very careful about how his house is placed within that lot. But other than that, I don't see any problem with it. Does anybody?
I'd make a motion we approve it.
I'll second it.
Any discussion? All in favor? That's approved. And on an abutting lot was Tim Laffin, and it's pretty much the same situation. It's a very tight building envelope. He can meet the setback requirements, but he's going to have to be very careful about it.
And they've both been told. We've discussed it.
Yes, we talked to both of them about that.
Make a motion to approve it. As submitted.
As submitted, I'll second that. Any discussion? All in favor? That's approved. Next application is Armand Desrochers. Is that how it's pronounced? Thanks. So I understand you've reworked your plan and you're coming back in again?
Yes, right.
There's also a note from interim code enforcement officer Tim Nelson, included in your packet tonight.
Yeah, I think that would be in order anyway. So it's reference to a site walk.
Yep.
Do you want to tell us about your new plan? Or?
This is Jamie Cole. He's a code enforcement officer from Sanford. He's just a friend to help me out.
Here's your backup.
Jamie Cole, friend, and I am a code officer in Sanford, so I have extensive knowledge of the shoreline zoning ordinances as adopted. I looked up your ordinance online. The state of Maine has a template that most towns follow. Waterboro followed it almost to a T. So I am familiar with your ordinance. Basically what they're looking to do is to tear down a dilapidated camp and rebuild it. Not exactly in the same position. They're actually looking to move it away from the water and move it away from the property line that they're actually encroaching over onto the neighbor's property that they recently determined with a survey. I know there's been other discussion on trying to get the camp completely out of the 100-foot setback to the water. You guys have not done a site walk there, but Tim Nelson did. This site is an extreme slope. You can see the right-of-way with the gravel kind of behind the house, as we'll call it. Almost directly off the edge of that gravel is a 45, 50-degree slope. It would be very hard to cut into that slope with a foundation and or structure without causing substantial erosion problems. You'd end up having to do retaining walls and all kinds of things that really shoreline zoning doesn't like. So if they were able to keep it over to the left, sort of, as you guys have the most, yeah, you guys all have the most recent plan. Basically, what is outlined in red is the proposed placement of the new structure. If it was to go any further to the right, you're into that slope that's going to cause erosion problems. It's moved over, it's moved back pretty much as far as you can get it without getting into the slope right on the side of the street, the right of way. The shoreline zoning ordinance allows the reconstruction of a structure if you can meet the setbacks to the greatest practical extent. In that, there's verbiage on taking into account existing foundations, existing topography, power lines, et cetera, et cetera. So Armand has had several conversations, has actually moved this around a few times. I've talked to him a little bit about different placements, and the discussion came to the final output of basically this being, we feel, is in the best way to achieve the goal of getting as far away from the water as we can and not causing more damage by doing it to the water.
So, next step would be a site walk.
Yep.
And even if Tim didn't recommend it, we'll still, is this Saturday too soon to do that, or
No, I can publish it tomorrow.
how does that sound to everyone else?
Sounds fine.
9 o'clock
I'd
Saturday.
like to say something to the applicant, because I know last time we were really hung up on the 100-foot setback
Well, it was also the demolition and
and the
rebuilding.
demolition and rebuilding.
Right.
And we've since learned
That's not
that
a
if it's
problem.
done, if it's demolished within a certain time frame, you have the right to rebuild it. This is new facts that we weren't aware of. I think in the 3 years that I've sat on the board, in all my years of building, I've never heard of it. And we've never had an applicant, we can only think of one applicant that actually had a reduction of less than
Pam
100
Whitman.
feet. And I was very new to the board then, so I didn't realize. But there is something in the ordinance that says that if you,
One year.
if it burns down, if you destroy it, or for any reason the thing disappears, you do have within 18 months to rebuild. And I think, I'm not sure if the whole board is clear on that, but that's what I read in the ordinance.
That's what it says.
So that kind of like changes the whole scope of things. So I didn't want you leaving here tonight thinking we're still hung up on the 100-foot, because it's not as much of an issue as it was.
But-
We still have a requirement to keep you away from the lake as much as we can.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did
But-
that by, Susan, we did that by removing the stairs are from one end to the other, there's 10 feet there. And then we're taking, so that's 10 feet that we're backing it up, plus we're taking off another 5 more feet on the deck itself.
So I'm saying this is an apology to you
Yeah.
guys for
Yeah.
not being up to speed with that, and making you go through that 2 weeks of pain and
The
suffering,
ordinance
not
is
knowing what's going on.
I don't think anybody expects you guys to know it all.
Well, we tried to.
We had a couple that night.
Yeah, we
But I
did.
mean, the fact that you're moving away from the water and you're moving away from your sideline, to me, is ideal.
Yeah, we're trying to make it better,
Yeah.
not make it worse. you know.
Yeah, exactly,
So-
yeah.
So
And-
could,
And we have the power, I think, at that point.
yeah,
to do-
definitely, I
What
think so
time?
too. That's what I'm gonna say. How about 9 o'clock on this Saturday morning? Would that be appropriate for you?
Yep, no problem.
The sooner the better, because we're getting into cold weather.
Yes.
You think you could stake that out, just
Basics, you don't need a survey, just something to give us an idea of where
Yep.
everything's going.
to give us a
Yeah,
reference?
because we do have a reference point here now, and then I can put another reference point from
Yeah,
this
just a
camp
couple
here.
things to go by.
Yeah, we can put some stakes in the ground.
Yep.
Nice.
So 9 o'clock this coming Saturday morning, we'll be there.
Can I ask the chairman to see if we can get them on the agenda for the next meeting? So they
Sure.
can get in and out of here the following next meeting? Make sure there's a slot for them?
We still open for that?
Yep.
Yep, that's a good idea.
Does that mean it's gonna be another 2.5 more weeks?
It'll be this Saturday, the
Well-
following week before we have a meeting.
We couldn't approve it on the sidewalk, it's kind of a separate thing. We need to come back in the meeting and vote on it officially.
The next
We've
available
lost-
planning board
We lost
meeting.
almost 6 weeks in that right now, and it's getting,
Yeah.
it is getting cold.
Wait.
We
We're getting
apologize for it, but it's,
Well,
the
we
process
could
still has to
not
go through.
adjourn this meeting, could we not? And bring it up
So if the
against-
site work
the
is
site
on
walk.
We go through the
Saturday
site
night.
walk and we don't see if what you're saying is true, I believe that we're not gonna have an issue, I believe. I can't speak for the whole board.
But you still have to wait till the next meeting?
Yes,
Could
yes,
we
we can't
not
approve it, we
adjourn
can't
this
approve it.
meeting tonight and bring it up again?
What do you think
As
of that,
long as
Kurt?
there's a quorum there? No?
Because it's got to be publicized and everything else. Then it's an extent. You know, if you
Yeah.
do that,
And we
the
were-
site walk is
That's
really
the
just.
trick, we have to be here in
When is,
public.
do you meet every other week, is that?
Yeah,
Yeah, the first
every
and third
second-
Wednesday.
First and second Wednesday.
first and third.
First and third.
First and third, thanks.
Because, can I bring up one thing? I noticed that Kenny Demers, on this side here, which is the closest one, there's only the point itself that's close to his land. And he said that if you wanted to, no problem, I could, well, he was here the last time, and he said to the board that it doesn't make any difference if I was right on the line all the way down through. Now I'm only, the point itself is is about a foot and a half on this side of the line. Otherwise than that, he says there's no problem there. Ken Heward is his name, and he's my next door neighbor, and he's the one that abuts it right there.
I thought that was 15 feet, you were moving it forward, isn't that that same corner? If you're eliminating the stairs. And the
Right.
red is over
But what
5
he's
feet.
saying is the new point is 1.51 feet on their side in, whereas before it was 3 feet over.
Oh, I
So that one's been moved.
1.5.
As a rule, we've never gone below 10 feet
Right.
on the sideline.
No, I just looked that up, and it just says it's, that was a question I had, and it just says to the maximum extent possible.
Right.
Right.
So
if you
then the
have a
question
le-
is, when does it go to ZBA then?
In a case like this, it typically doesn't go to ZBA. You guys have, it's not a variance at this point.
Yeah, but it
Variances
should
go
be,
to the
that's-
ZBA.
It will be in a short amount of time of variance in Waterboro.
Yeah.
But
Possibly. But, I mean,
we've always gone to 10, and it's
We've
but
never
it's
gone
not
below
there's
10.
no number written in the.
Should we get something running from your butter?
Yeah, but in cases of something that's already there like
Yeah.
that, I think it's just our job to see that we can move it back as far as possible.
Right.
Yeah, which we've done that.
In that relocation section, it should have some examples of what you're looking for to meet the greatest extent possible. If it's not right there in that paragraph, it should be in
Yeah, that's
the
why.
actual body of the
That's why
ordinance.
it's going to get changed out of our
Right.
planning. It's going to go to ZBA.
Right.
Yeah.
But for this purpose,
I think in the past, we've always looked at it and tried to decide how it can be moved to make it as
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 conforming
conforming
as
as
possible.
possible.
Right, yeah.
And
Yeah.
even, when it's that close already, that
something from this gentleman.
Because if we go too far up, we're going to be within that right of way. And if we go too far up again, then there's going to be erosion. There's already erosion there now. And I've also put a catch basin down here, further down on that right of way, to catch the water so that it doesn't go in the water. If I have to put another one, I will. But I mean, we're trying to do everything the way it should be, so to prevent anything like that from happening. So it's
Do you
only
think you
that
can get
one
something in
corner.
writing from him?
Well, they must have it on the minutes. Tammy, would they have that on
This
the
would
minutes?
He
have
needs
to-
it in writing.
it would have to be
He
something
was
that
here that
Yeah.
Yeah.
he mentioned
Yeah,
it, that
we
he
will.
says there wouldn't be any problem.
you'd want to make
Right.
it a matter of record.
Yeah,
Yeah.
actually,
Yeah,
that's
no,
for
no,
your
I
protection
could
as
get a
well.
hold of him, but I mean,
Now,
Absolutely.
he doesn't live there, he lives in Bedford.
Whereabouts is there a house on that lot, a building?
There
on
is,
that?
yeah. there's
Whereabouts is that in relation to the new building?
I'd say more towards the
Almost like where it says deed reference.
Okay,
DNA there.
Yeah.
there's two houses, right?
No, there's
we're
only
talking
one.
about where this guy is.
Very
Oh, that
confusing
one,
map.
oh.
Very confusing map.
How does the board feel about that, going down to a foot and a half on a sideline?
If the neighbor wants to sign off on it,
Again, as part of the reconstruction in the ordinance, it says to meet the setback to the greatest extent possible.
Yeah,
If in the event you can get to 10 feet, the objective is to get to 10 feet. In this case, to get 10 feet, you're going to be so far into that banking that it's going to be a nightmare to stop the water erosion from getting into the lake, which is the intent of the ordinance.
I think if he has it staked off when we do the sidewalk, we'll be able to better relate to it.
Well, we'll stake it off for you.
All right, we should probably do
Okay.
that.
Yeah, and I
Bring
think
it
that'd be
back
the
to
best
next
bet.
meeting.
we've
done it
before.
All right, so that's it, 9 o'clock this Saturday,
How do we get there?
we'll be out there. Little Ospey Lake,
It's right up to Desrochers Lane it's a blue fence right before it.
It's
So
about maybe
take a left out of the
few
parking
hundred
lot,
feet down on the left.
about 200 or 300 feet down on the left.
Oh, okay.
all right. We'll see you there. Thank you.
Yeah, okay.
Next appointment is Rebecca and Richard Doucette, coming back in. Howdy?
Howdy?
We better understand the
Yes.
letter from the code enforcement officer.
Right.
So, My apologies to you as well, sir.
I think we both learned from that. I think we all learned, not just you and I.
So you're still going with the original plan that you came in with last time?
Yes, yes.
Then we gotta do the same thing, do a site walk just to look at it,
Just to make sure.
Yes.
come back in a week and,
Now, can we bring this back on the 19th also?
We'll go there Saturday after.
Sure.
on the face of it, does it look like there's any issues? Based on the new information?
Well, the only thing I had was, we had a couple letters, one of which I don't really see where we fit in is this the one with the overhanging trees?
Yes.
Yeah. Now, is this the one with the drainage?
No.
Okay, good. So it's just
The
the
one with the
overhanging.
tree, I think,
Yes,
a tree hanging over someplace or something?
Yes.
over the driveway, but we can take a look at that at the time.
Yeah.
All right. So how would Saturday morning be for you?
That's fine.
And whereabouts are you on Little Oscar,
Sure.
just roughly?
Amy Lane,
Okay, that I know.
87, almost all the way down the peninsula.
Okay. So do you
Third
think
one from the end.
9:30
I think.
be enough time? How's that for you, 9:30?
It's fine, I'll be there.
All right, we'll be there.
Now, I also have a revised drawing that I'll have this print up for you guys at the site.
That'd be great.
And more professional than me. Mine was done with a tape measure, so.
You think you could stake out a couple corners on
Yeah.
that, opposed?
Yeah, especially the ones that are closest, like the 17 foot.
Okay, so you got that map too. Okay.
Yep.
Yep.
All right, thanks a lot.
Very well.
We'll see you then.
And that means I also have to return to the next meeting.
Yeah,
Same thing, the 19th, yes.
fortunately or
He
unfortunately.
doesn't have to go back, it'll be in the agenda.
Yeah, you can raise your
He
hand.
doesn't have to be here.
Mr. Doucette, you don't actually have to be here in person. We can make our decision. I don't know if you're out of state or what,
No,
he's local.
I'm living right down the way.
but it's an option. One way or the other, Tammy could let you know the next day how it was going.
Okay.
All right.
And I would want to add to that, because we haven't done the site walk yet. If it's somewhat convenient, you might want to just come back, just to make
Oh,
sure in case
I
there's
intend to.
an issue comes up.
Yeah.
In case an
Any
issue
questions?
comes up, you are here. You don't have to
I don't
attend.
want to get blindsided. Yes, I'll be here.
Good. I think that'd be a good idea.
Okay, very well.
Thanks a lot.
See you Saturday morning.
Very good.
Mr. Chair?
But, yes.
I have a concern about the,
Excuse us, which,
not
is
a
John
public
Walker just leaving? Hey, could you hang
not
on
a
a
public
second?
hearing.
And Mr.
Hey,
Doucette,
come on back here for a minute. Go ahead, step up.
we just want you to hear this.
okay, my name's Tammy Desrochers, this is my brother Ron, and my grandparents are Mr. and Mrs. Harold Pike, and they abut the Doucette's property. And first he wanted me just to say that he's not opposed in any way to the proposed new home for the Doucettes, but he is asking that before a permit be issued, if they could remove the 2 oak trees so that he can regain use of his property. So at first when my grandfather was explaining this, I was like, Gramp, it's acorns. But when I went up there, the driveway is peppered with acorns, and it is kind of slippery if you step out. And my grandparents are 90 and 92. And according to my grandfather, he did say that Mr. Doucette said he would cut down the tree, but he didn't really give him a time when he was going to cut that down. And we do have pictures.
Yep.
And the other consideration that he had was he was asking the planning board to reconsider any building permits for 87 Amy Lane, property of Richard and Rebecca Doucette, until an official boundary survey has been completed.
Right. Well, as part of the ordinance, they can't pull a permit, a building permit, until they have a boundary survey. That's
Oh,
correct?
So,
Yes. So will be covered. They can't get a building permit till they show a survey. And as far as the oak trees go, I don't know what jurisdiction we have over that, or, you know, it's, I know that we don't, but,
I don't know in Maine, but I know that the answer would be in New Hampshire.
What?
No way.
No, I mean, it's not a zoning thing. There's nothing in the ordinance. And I'm saying this very cautiously tonight, because last meeting I aired when I really thought that you couldn't build within 100 feet. So, but I am very cautiously, because I did read the letter earlier, a few days ago when I got it. And I was looking at the ordinance, and I kind of reviewed the 18 months and all this stuff, while you tear it down. And I kind of looked for anything to do with language about trees or fences or anything like that. Those are typically civil matters.
That's a civil matter.
Civil matter, and it's not something that the planning department, I believe the planning department can do anything for you with.
Generally, when you're in a shoreland area, those trees are, you want to keep the trees to keep your duff layer intact. So anytime those trees get disturbed, there's a potential that your duff layers could get, and that's what prevents sediment from getting into the lake and everything else. So generally, you can prune it. You know, pruning is an option on it. But generally,
It's
Clean
not
water.
down next to the lake. It's like.
is that in the
it's right
Saco
on-
River corridor?
there's a diurnal,
It's in the side.
Steve might know, there's a diurnal area of the trees, a certain diurnal area.
This is your grandparents' camp?
Do you know?
Yeah, and that's the,
My property.
This is their place,
that?
and this is his tree on his line?
Yeah.
yeah. So that's why I think he was looking at the boundary. So he parks his camper here. These are where he puts his vehicles, so you can't really use this part of the driveway. And like I said, I thought it was not a big deal until I went up there, and
May I suggest that we got a lot of people in town who probably love to have some firewood. And I'm not saying that to be facetious, I'm saying.
Would you guys like to
It'd be
hear,
up to Mr. Doucette if he'd mind to take them down, but I don't believe.
why don't we hear from Mr. Doucette, if you don't mind?
okay.
When it all started, last year I had an arborist come out, cut 4 trees down for me. And Mr. Pike just came up, we just got back from vacation, we stepped out of the vehicle and he was after us about taking down not the tree, but limiting the trees. And at the time, the arborist was there for payment. When he came out, it was the same day as I returned back from my vacation. And he said, Dick, he said, I'll look at it when I come back in spring. My work is not done. So he was also taking care of another gentleman across the street from us. So he did return this springtime. The arborist looked at it. He said, if I cut all the limbs as what Mr. Pike wants, he says, I'll kill the tree. So he said, therefore, he said, I'll limit as far as I can go. And he said, it's the best I can do. So the tree is still standing there. He limbed the tree up. I don't know, quite a few limbs. And this was a bad year for acorns.
Yeah.
Bad on both sides. And I used to rake Mr. Pike's acorns for years. He's just kind of upset because he's not getting his way. And I feel bad, but yet that's the only shade I really have up there on that property at the time. And I clean up as often as I can. I'm not allowed to go on his property any longer, so I can't really help him. I've done everything possible. I did it correctly. I had an arborist. I got a permit from the town to take care of action. And he did the best he could.
It sounds like something, although the relationship's kind of strained, that hopefully you guys could work out
Yeah,
between
it's,
yourselves.
It goes in quite deeper than just the oak trees.
Right, well, that's
And
what it
it's not-
sounds like.
It's not an
but-
issue to be mentioned here. But I tried it. I've done everything possible to help the gentleman out. And I'm not ready to take the trees down yet. Right now, it's the only shade I have. Up until I do all the landscaping I'd like to do when I put the new building out.
Mr.
What are the
Doucette.
rules on a tree if it overhangs?
You know, all
Like
that
it's
stuff
on his
is,
land,
it's
but
like
it
a,
overhangs.
it's like a civil matter. It doesn't really enter into what we're doing.
Does it,
And I-
I always thought that you could cut every limb that hangs over onto your land.
I know there's all kinds of rules, but it's really not our department.
There's all kinds of situations with it, even with Central Maine Power limiting on the side of a public road. And whether a tree is in the public right of way or private property, they have to get permissions from the people to cut the trees, and it's a big elaborate process. My in-laws had a couple of big trees like on that were half on their property, half on the city of Biddeford property, and that went on, this was an elm tree that had died, and there was big branches falling. And I worked with my in-laws with the city of Biddeford to try to get those trees taken down by the city of Biddeford, and that was like a 2-year extended process.
Wow.
And that was between the city and it was a definite safety hazard when you have limbs that they would fall on the ground and stick in the ground like a foot.
Yeah.
It's like, you're gonna kill my in-laws if you cut these trees down. And they were partly on the city property, partly on there. So if it was just on what the city told us, and the city's attorney told us, was that if it was on my in-laws' property, my in-laws are responsible for the tree and anything that falls off the tree. If it's on city property, then the city would be responsible for the tree and anything that falls off the tree. Where it was half and half, we didn't know where we are.
So this tree is on their property, so if something happens to my grandparents.
They're liable
then
for the
liable.
damages that the tree would cause, but that goes with anybody on any property if you want to pursue that. I'm not sure if an acorn would constitute.
No, honestly, that's what I thought at the beginning, remember it's acorns,
Yeah.
but when you go up there, you'll see it's peppered. So
Yeah,
if you
yeah.
get out of your car, you can actually slip
Yeah.
on it. I mean, they're not 30, they're 90.
Like I say, it's a very complicated civil matter because we were discussing with my in-laws, with the city of Biddeford, and it went to their attorney for interpretation as to what the city should do. Eventually, the city cut them down,
Okay.
right?
Well, Mr. Dusso's painting a pretty good picture of how he's trying to work with my grandfather, but in all reality, you should be ashamed of yourself for verbally abusing
I have not,
elderly.
never verbally abused.
Would you folks
grandma.
mind just taking this outside if you're gonna, if you,
But thank you. So you will be doing a site
we will be
walk?
doing a site walk, right? And if it's possible at all for you to work with the Doucette, maybe as a go-between for your
Yeah.
father, or,
It's a
that's
lot
the way
easier
to
to
do
work
it.
something
Yeah,
out.
shit
It
early.
really is a lot
Look
easier
at
to
the
work
trees
something out.
when you go look
Well, I
at
mean, we
that.
can look, but I think everyone would agree it's really not our department. We don't have any jurisdiction after that. We're looking at the buildings.
Okay. And what did you say?
I was saying it's a lot easier to work it out amongst yourselves
Well, they,
and try
yeah,
to come to some kind of
right,
understanding. you
right.
know.
Okay.
Okay, well,
Thank
thanks.
you.
Thanks for speaking up. We're all set, thanks.
Yeah.
Next appointment is John and Donna Martel, and you're representing them, Steve?
Yes, I am.
Represented by Steve Everett.
So I believe that this is the second meeting. They came to you a month or two ago without a boundary survey with their proposal. And that's where you went over the square footages and the 30% and all of the shoreland zoning issues at that time. I wasn't here, but that's what they tell me. So I went out and did a boundary survey and went out and actually accurately staked the 24 by 24 foot garage where it's going to be. And I show setbacks 12.7 feet and 12.6 feet from the actual boundary line that was in question. So that's why I'm here.
That's it.
That's it. That's,
You're okay on the other side. Looks.
Now, we have a letter from an abutter that has some concerns. One of those is drainage. Would that be our department, or would that go to the code enforcement officer?
Code enforcement, but it can't, I mean, he's talking about the runoff.
Yes.
It can't leave the property. I mean, you can't create a situation that causes erosion.
It can't spill on his
Yeah.
property.
The way it's situated, it's all gonna go downhill, it's not gonna go uphill.
yeah, did you,
Over.
Tammy, did you circulate those photos? that I sent you?
Where,
You should have some
where
photos
is that they can't,
in the
the water
package
can't
that
leave?
shows
the
that side of the building.
Can't have sediment
They're
leaving
worried
on.
about the
That's part of the,
water running off onto this property. I don't know what the slope is there or
Because
anything.
I think I took one that showed that side of the
not,
building
Andy,
and how
not the water.
slopes off.
Sediment.
Sediment.
Sediment, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
You know, I think this
Not
is the
water,
kind of thing
sediment.
that we sit here and talk about, but I think
Do
it'd
we
be best to
have a
look
sidewalk?
at it.
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
So could you guys be there on Saturday? If we should allow till 10 o'clock for that, give each one half an hour, I think that'd probably be best. Because it took us half an hour to find one of the places to put it. And it was just
Know where you're
across the
going,
lake
you're
from
going
the
to Lake
first
Sherburne.
one. So how would 10 o'clock be on Saturday morning?
Yeah.
You guys? And then be back on
We
the...
could probably address the other issues in that letter. at
Yeah,
that
well,
time.
I think that's the best thing is to
Yeah.
stand there and look at it instead of just
Yeah.
talking about it.
Can we be put on the next meeting?
Would be on the 19th? Yes.
Well, you've seen all 5 of them in a half hour that was returned, so I
Yeah.
can anticipate after you've done the
Yeah.
sidewalk that.
That part usually
it'll
goes
be
pretty
much better.
fast. All right, so we'll be 10 o'clock on this Saturday morning.
Okay, great.
It could, well, you don't really need to stake it out, right?
It's already staked.
Good. Thank you.
Yep.
Would you guys mind shutting that door on the way out, please?
No, it's not fine. You want to go in?
No.
He's whole redemption place.
Okay, okay, yeah, okay, okay.
Isn't there something here about a porch light? Yeah.
Saw something about a snowbank.
Yeah.
That is
Here,
a porch
right
light.
here,
Oh,
right
okay,
here,
okay,
right
yeah,
here,
two
yeah.
light.
See, he's shining his porch light on me and
Is it?
You know what? We should probably
Yeah.
attend this zoning board of appeals.
knowing my guess.
Public hearing.
All right. That's, I don't
Sure
know.
we can.
But it's-
Anyway,
We just have to look
welcome
at the
back.
facts.
Moving on to our last appointment. Final approval for Dollar General. We have a list of things from Tom.
The agenda?
No, she's just a potential future member that's checking out.
Oh, okay, okay.
That's Kate, that's Katie.
Oh, okay.
Good evening. How is
Evening.
everyone? Good to see you again.
Oh,
Yes,
come on. We're having snow and cold
I want
weather.
to get out of here before it snows, I hope.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I've got one more tomorrow night, and hopefully I can get out of here Friday before the snow comes. That's what they're calling for.
stick.
It doesn't matter, I won't say it. I don't So,
We
back
plow
again
the
talking
roads
about...
here.
I'm sorry?
We plow the roads here.
Yeah,
Not like where you're
we'll get
from.
you out. Everybody's got four-wheel drives here.
It just, that white stuff just hurts my feelings. I don't like it. So, we are here again, talking about the proposed Dollar General. And I understand that there was a couple comments by the road commissioner, is that right?
Department of
Road
Public
commissioner,
Works.
I think last time there was issues regarding closing of the road that our drive was going to be on, not being plowed. We've done a little bit of research since then, and actually my engineer went out and spoke with the gravel pit operator.
Northeast. Yeah.
Correct, up further north of us, and he said, yes, that road is closed at times, but it's typically done on the north side of his driveway.
That would
He
make
has
sense.
access back to the main road. So I don't think that'll have an impact on us as far as our deliveries or anything, customers getting into the site.
Do you feel that's something that you need to document going forward, or you'll just go with that?
No, I think that works fine for us. If the roads are closed in town, I'm sure nobody's gonna be out driving around anyway.
It's more when they post it for the
Yeah,
trucks.
in the
To get
spring.
your deliveries in and
Yeah.
out.
And if
It's for a short period.
if history does mean anything, it sounds like they are posting the road, but it is north of the gravel pit, so it shouldn't have an effect on us.
I would think there's a pretty steady precedent of what's been done in the past.
Well, how can you have a gravel pit if you can't
Yeah.
access?
Exactly.
can't get the gravel out.
You
And they're
know,
not
I don't
gonna
see how
dump
they
it
can
till
post it
left.
at this point.
Okay.
I know I've seen the end of that road. That's the road I drive every day. I know I see the end of that road posted.
Yeah, but Cliff also uses it, takes the trucks in and out too.
Okay.
Yep.
That's right, Northeast is still too. Or Husky.
So Tom was also looking for a note on the old well being capped.
Yes, sir, and that is on the drawings. Is it? Yes, say yes.
I actually went out and did a site visit on my own.
Yes, sir.
I was actually by that way, so I was kind of curious, and I wanted to see the old cobbler building.
What'd you think of it?
I think that you've got your challenge to move that building in one piece.
There's a little bit of a caveat. There's been some movement on that since the last time I was here. We're still planning to do it, but my in-house attorney tells me that we can't take the liability to move that building. But what I want to do is I want to get you to give me a quote to move that building.
I'm trying.
And as soon as you do that, I'm going to make a donation.
Okay.
And you can move the building.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
So
That-
no-
that's probably a good way to do it.
Yes.
So nobody
That
said
building
it-
that building is really bad shape.
Yeah,
Really
nobody
bad
said
shape.
anything about one piece.
Yeah. What I was surprised, do you see the brick chimney coming out of it? It doesn't go to the ground.
That's going to be the
It hangs onto the ceiling. The brick chimney is built on the ceiling of the structure.
After the last
And it's
meeting-
up there with no more mortar, but just loose bricks up there, right? And there must have been some hearth or something underneath. Then it's built as post and beam, and the sidewalls are actually decompressing because the structure is so rotted, and the siding is buckling off it. So it
floor's doing the same.
is,
Yeah, it's in rough shape.
I guess, two things that come to mind.
Well,
And one of them to you, Judy, is that you probably ought to look at it to see if it's even if it even is salvageable.
I am trying. I've called
If it's even salvageable.
3 people, and none of them call back.
Hey,
So-
Judy, I can,
And what I mean by that, Judy, is
Judy,
that,
I can get together with you. I mean, that's what we do every day. So.
to
I would
see
suggest,
if it can
uh,
actually be fixed, because it might be beyond that.
Well, I would certainly suggest shoring it up very, very well before you put it on the truck.
That's what we did
As soon as it starts moving,
with the
it's going to come
schoolhouse.
apart.
We had beams put under it.
I don't think this
before.
one's big enough for that, but I think if you just, wrapped it with
I
some
mean,
2
they
bys and
replaced
tied
the
it all together.
beams
I think all
that
the
were on
sills
the
are
building.
gone.
Yeah.
I think all the sills are gone. You have corner posts and center posts, and they're just sitting down on nothing. And the sidewalls are buckling. The 2x4s are
When they-
compressing, and the
They
siding is
moved the other
buckling
one
off.
up on Things Mill though. I mean, that came out in pieces too. I mean,
You could strong back. You
You
could
go in
strong
there
back
with a
down from the
camera,
collar
make sure you
ties.
document the heck out of it.
It's certainly doable.
Yeah.
So you'll
Yeah.
you'll
I think-
provide the funds
I'm
for
gonna make a
that,
donation.
if possible, right?
But I don't want any ties to moving the building
Right.
in writing anywhere that ties it back to me.
So you're
But
just
I
making a
will-
donation.
I'll make a donation.
Were you nodding a lot to the lawyer?
Excuse me?
Were you nodding a lot to the lawyer?
I'm saying, listen, this is really important, this is
Yeah.
something that we probably need to do as good neighbors, but I understand the liabilities.
So you said the thing about the well is in,
Yes, we do
Yes,
have every
that's
intention to do
definitely
that,
needs to
and
be
if it's
done.
not on the drawings, it will be.
all right,
Okay.
so that would be a
Okay,
condition of
capital.
approval.
And I examined the well as well, and if you are the property owner right now, I guess I would put you on a polite notice. When I went out there, I was kind of like in awe over this well, because it's like knee high. You could walk up to the well, it's knee high.
Yeah, we've seen it.
It's
Yeah,
actually in the
that's
right of way, and it has a metal cover,
Yeah.
right? And there's a big hole in the middle of it,
Yeah.
and you can look down that hole, and I'm looking down 30 feet
Yeah.
into just a straight hole. And I'm saying to myself, there's a lot of snowmobiles that go down through there. It just takes one after a plow's gone by to get off the snowmobile, take a few steps, and down the hole.
Well, that'll be
goes.
one of the first things that our GC does.
So I would
is
say to you,
we
yeah,
get some sign.
even before you build the store, just fill it in or put a cover on it.
But we don't own it yet.
Well,
We
when you
won't buy the
do,
property until we have all of our permits, so as soon as that happens,
If you abandon a well, you can't cap it. You have to.
fill it in.
Yeah.
But he could
Grout
cap
it.
it. He could cap it just to make it safer right now.
but there is, right, they do actually call it capping. Whenever you abandon it, you're not using it anymore, you basically just fill it with grout.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's
You have to
solid.
grout it so you can't get surface water go back into the drinking ground.
And nobody can fall in it.
Yeah. It's that big in diameter?
Oh, it's got to be 3 feet. It's a double.
Is it really?
And it goes down like 30 feet. And I'm
Yeah.
looking down there, and it's like, how could they have made that? And it's all stone. It's a beautiful well. It's all stone.
Imagine the poor kid down there filling
We
up a
want to save
bucket.
that too.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
You want that too? You want to move that?
Yeah,
And
right.
there's still, you can still see the pump down there and the whole 9 yards down there. It's
really?
bone dry.
Yeah.
You got a very dry lot. There's no water on it at all.
beautiful drainage in that lot.
Hopefully that holds
All right,
true.
So, the well will be filled.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We have every intention, we're not gonna use it again. We're gonna cap it as soon as we get on site and abandon it, and all the paperwork will be filed with the state, and then it'll be inspected.
To
And
look at.
I mean, I get it. One of the comments on here is about the fire department.
Where's the septic?
Well, I had something to say
Yeah.
about that.
Okay.
I mean, this application first came in 6 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And when I look at the town site plan ordinance, it says the site plan applicant will go directly to the town planner and be reviewed by the town planner and the code enforcement officer. Any advice that the fire chief or the
Road commissioner.
Department of Public Works has, it should be coming directly to the board and they should not be meeting with the applicant. We've only seen this application once in 6 weeks. And at that time, I think most of the board members were happy with what they saw.
Yeah.
So I think that we're prepared tonight to approve it as it is.
Yep.
I would approve it with a couple of conditions. They've got to make some changes on the plan, some notations on the plan, that the well is going to be filled in properly.
Yes, yes,
And
yes.
that, I want to clarify the donation, because I don't want any, if the Historic Society, he's agreed to move the building,
Mm-hmm.
and he's agreed to pay for the building. I don't know what a reasonable cap could be.
And that's-
What I don't want is have a $2,000 donation for an $8,000 job, because, and so
And
I just want to make it clear.
I do feel there needs to be a cap on it as well,
Oh,
because I don't
yes.
want to pay $20,000 to move that.
Or
10
if it's not
Plenty,
moved,
plenty,
if
up
it's
to
not
20, yeah.
movable.
If it's not movable, then he's off the hook.
If it's not movable, we'll just
Yes,
demo it in
yes.
place.
We're,
Yeah.
we're
So we got to put some language.
reasonable, I
You
mean.
say you do this type of work?
We repair stuff like this.
Okay, so you don't have to physically move stuff like this.
They have the capability.
We have the capability, yeah.
Well, I'm just wondering, is $1,500? Does that sound like an unreasonable?
To get it to a point that you can move it, yes.
Well,
To move it.
That's not
Let's
enough
get
to
into the-
move it.
No, you can't
I
move for
can
that.
tell you, we moved the schoolhouse it was further. I think we
It is-
paid 5,000.
Quite a bit bigger too, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, and your heights are what kill you
They
on
did-
moving because of your
Well,
power lines.
this
They
is
did
not gonna
work
be an
on
issue.
it.
This
No.
is the height
No.
issue.
Yeah.
This is not going to be a height issue.
No, there
I think that
isn't.
you can put it on a trailer or even
Yeah.
on one of those tow trucks with the skid
Yeah.
rear end on it.
We can,
I
I mean,
can't imagine it
we
being
can
more than
definitely get it up in the
$2,000.
air so that it can be moved. You know, I mean,
I don't, Kurt, I've jacked up barns, I've jacked up houses, I've jacked up camps.
Did you say bars?
Barns.
There's a reason we have them.
I've jacked up quite a few things. You've got to see this one first. Because I got nothing to jack on.
So
The-
can
we
we,
can't go to collar ties and pull down from the collar ties.
The likelihood is pretty slim that you're going to be able to move it.
so can we make
Yes.
that as a note that will be negotiated
Yeah.
Yes, let's do that.
Yeah,
on the
Well,
plan?
how do we enforce
you don't.
to be?
Well, it's kind of a moving target. I mean, you don't know what it'll cost, you don't know if it can be moved.
So I think there ought to be clear language so that the applicant can walk away saying, okay, that was the understanding, and Judy and the Historic Society can walk away saying, okay, that's reasonable. At some point, my honest opinion on this thing, you're going to move that building down there, and you're going to come to realize it isn't even feasible.
Yeah.
That's what I think is going to happen.
I agree.
Because what's going to happen is that you're going to pull all the studs out. You're going to reframe the whole thing to have a structure.
And somewhere in here, can't you use the phrase in good faith?
You've got a concrete chimney sitting on a ceiling that is bowed down like this, and the plaster is popped off.
Who do we have in town that can actually look at this and make a decision on whether
I
it's...
was-
I think that's what Kurt's
Scott,
talking about.
I think Scott Oman could do it. At least look at it.
The thing
I
is,
tried to call him and
Do we want to hold up
I
approval
think
for
it's
this?
I think it's pretty easy to have him put a notation on the plan. We can make it. We can approve the plan subject to making two notations, and we can give him the language for the notations. And then when he brings the signed copy in, we'll just sign the copy. Right. So the plan is approved, subject to the well being capped. Language on the plan, something and that's easily done. You can just put that on the plan.
Yes.
Or we can write it in a letter form and have it that it's going to be on the plan.
But what about if it reaches a certain amount of money where it's not
Cap it at
reasonable?
$5,000.
Oh, that's too high.
Yeah.
That's too high.
That's too high.
And that's why we want to address it.
What's your max?
Honestly, I was thinking $1,000.
Yeah. And that's why we wanted to clarify the
tell
donation
you what.
language.
Let's keep in mind that this is a donation that they offered to do. They're not required to do it. And I don't think we should be holding up approval
No.
over this.
I think
Yeah,
Frank's
that's a good
saying in
point.
good faith. It should be
I
negotiated in
hear
good
you,
faith.
and that's
I agree.
fine.
Yeah.
With this
let's-
application,
we
I
can-
think in good faith, that this is,
Okay,
We
yeah,
can't
it's
do
true,
it
it's
for
not
that,
part of the
you can tear it
application.
down.
So we'll do it with a
Okay.
handshake and leave it out.
Yeah, we
I'll
don't
talk
need
to
to
Scotty
mention it.
tomorrow, see if we can move forward.
Okay,
on this.
yeah,
Okay.
let's,
In good faith, Andy?
let's keep in touch and see what we can come up with as far as moving it and whether it's
Sure.
even
So we're,
doable.
I doubt
Or
if
we're
it
just
can
throwing
be.
money away.
Are you
I
good
don't
with
think it
that?
can be
Andy?
done for that, so I think it's,
Well, let's look at it and see.
So we're ready
I'm not
to-
saying I won't go higher than that, but that's what I came in thinking. You ought to be able to do that.
Let's get a real opinion
On
what's
the
gonna
building,
happen
on the
with
building,
ours.
it says,
Fine.
you know, it isn't part of the ordinance, the well, I think should be
well's
addressed.
fine.
Yes,
in
I
some
agree
kind of
with that.
language.
Because the other thing about the well was, does it feed the old farm? Okay.
No, Andy was saying it's dry as a bone there
Yeah,
anyhow.
no, it's not.
Oh, that's true.
It's not serving. It's not serving.
They're not using it as sewage
All right.
going the other way then, are they?
Condition is the well.
so we're ready to approve with the only condition being that the well needs to be capped early in
A
the
notation of the
project.
plan
And note
needs
put
to be
on the
made.
plan that it needs to be
Yep.
capped per.
and you don't have
local
the
state
septic
law.
system under the parking lot, that's good.
No,
We had, I
So-
worked in the post office, the little post office up there, and someone from Tennessee did that too. And that's where they put the septic system right under the parking lot, because it froze solid.
Interesting.
Yeah, it was, real interesting.
It's an awesome place for it.
I would make a motion to approve the Dollar General store as submitted with an additional notation on the plan that the well will be capped, made safe for the public. That's my motion.
All right,
I would second.
Second.
Second,
good.
any discussion? All in favor? It's unanimous. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
Hopefully we'll see you again so we can build something else.
You got your snow tires?
Use local vendors to build it.
Yes, yes.
Use local contractors to build it, that'd be great.
Obviously, all of the subs have got to be qualified subs, but.
Yeah, we got a lot of qualified talent here in Waterboro.
Anybody is
Yeah.
interested can.
Nice, appreciate that.
Sounds like a good deal. Local employees, good luck. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next item is the minutes of October 15th.
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah. Too late on this one.
which covers a lot of what we talked about tonight.
Okay.
Tim, I have one question. Currently, a motion to suspend the shoreline zoning piece.
Got a miscellaneous.
Yeah, regarding it going to the ZBA, do you want to take and make any amendments to that or make note tonight?
You know, to be honest, I'm a little unclear on what all this talk about the ZBA has been.
Well, we suspending it until we could, our thing about the setback reductions should be done through ZBA. So the motion was just to suspend
Oh,
them
I see what you mean.
until
Okay.
the selectmen could clarify.
And now that we have a letter from
Now we have
Natalie
a letter from
saying,
Natalie say we have to.
so you're saying we will reinstate that duty?
Yeah, but I mean, at the meeting, that was the motion and that was seconded, so I think
Yes.
it should stay
Yeah,
as
it
written.
stay in there as written, but I didn't know if a comment needed to be put into this week's planning board minutes.
Yeah, that's a-
regarding that.
Right, I did send out an email
Yeah, that's a good point.
to Gary, but we should make that official, that the board voted to suspend action on section 2.08, but we have been advised by town attorney that we need to continue doing that until it's actually changed, that it would be illegal for us not to take those applications. Although we are limiting that to 2 per meeting, that's just because we're being swamped. And it has nothing to do with it going to the ZBA or not.
Yeah, I think that makes sense to put it in as.
Do we know when we're gonna get an answer on what
That's
that
my
is?
question.
Why is
No.
it taking so long? It should be just
Yeah.
we got a letter from Natalie. We should be able to get something within a couple of weeks to say, yeah, you can or no, you can't.
I think she pretty much said, no, you can't.
For the time being.
From Natalie said, I mean, we can keep hearing
No,
about
we
it.
can't, no, we can't because it's in our ordinance.
Right.
So we
But
granted ourselves powers.
that we don't have the authority.
The thing with the planning board doing it is the planning board has no criteria to go by. ZBA has a criteria to go by.
Yeah, she said she couldn't defend our decisions in court.
But what I want
Not
to know
to-
is
If we,
Where-
Not to hear the application.
how long
Yeah.
before
No,
this
the-
is going to be changed.
Maybe
I mean,
Dave could.
You,
Can we use the ZBA criteria?
is it
No, Natalie's-
Wait a minute, can we use the
limbo
ZBA
somewhere?
criteria?
she sent an email out originally saying that when we asked about it,
Yeah.
She said that she knows of no other town in the state that the planning board does reductions, and she's recommending that we remove it from our ordinance and put it 100% into ZBA.
But until we do that,
We
we
have
still
to.
But it has to
are
be
obligated to hear more
officially
applicants.
Till our language changes, we have to do it.
Yes.
Correct.
But
Yeah.
does that mean we can't use the same protocol, the same?
Well, we don't have to be as
criteria
lenient
that
as we
ZBA
have.
It has to be written though. That's the thing. We have to have a criteria.
ZBA has a criteria written
Yeah.
in their thing. We're not ZBA. We can't enforce ZBA.
Yeah, all our stuff says is to maximum extent possible.
Yeah.
That's it. Where's your? There's no, like the guy saying tonight. There's no example.
But being in the building business, Kurt, you've never gone to a planning board for a setback reduction.
No.
I've never, in the
No.
building business, ever gone to a planning board for setback
This is
reduction.
Waterboro, so.
But
Yeah,
we
and-
had
Before,
we changed it, right? I mean, we proposed
You
a
would propose-
change.
Yes.
And we sent it to the selectmen?
yes.
And the selectmen's
So
turn.
where is it now?
The selectmen.
And how
It's
long
with the
is it
Selectmen
gonna
and the
take?
town manager and Doug are supposed to sit down with Natalie.
Why is Doug sitting down with Natalie?
Waterboro.
Well, how long is this gonna take?
I don't know where it is, okay? I haven't seen it, so I can't answer you.
Before we get lost here,
I would think maybe you could have Tammy.
Okay.
Gary.
Yeah,
we
please.
were looking at the minutes for October 15th before we move on.
That's right.
I'll make a motion to approve as written.
Second? Any discussion? All in favor? All right, they're approved. We have a tendency that we'll start talking about one thing and move on, and we'll find out the next day that we didn't do it. Was that it on the ZBA and anybody?
I think on the Z.
We're just waiting to hear from the
Yeah.
selectmen.
Yeah, Tammy.
Tammy's gonna give it to Gary and
Right.
Gary and move it forward.
Any report of officers, anybody?
This is probably not on the agenda, but I've started digging into the driveway ordinance, and a lot of things in the driveway ordinance that are written in there, I can't find. My big thing is slope, driveway slope. There's ICC and NFPA both have maximum slopes permissible for a building. They are nowhere near the number that's in this. It's 30%. So, I guess my question is as I dig more and more into it, I can find ICC rules, I can find other, reports, but where do we bring in the driveway ordinance back? Because I'll start printing out all the stuff I find as I dig up on it, but a lot of the stuff I'm finding is not what's written on the ordinance, the proposed.
So you would contend that this ordinance is very, very restrictive.
Very, very restrictive
Yeah.
compared to
and
what's.
that's the points that I've been trying to make to everybody, is that it's just really for a town of hills and valleys, it's very restrictive. And every time planning board sends it back to road review, it comes back even more restrictive,
Yeah,
quite
and it's-
frankly. And this last one was way out of control. So I think what has to happen, the selectmen, there's some controversy at whether or not it has to come to the board or not, but the selectmen said it is going to come back to the board, and I believe in faith that they're going to send it back to us. I think it has to be rewritten and resubmitted.
Well, that's the thing too, is nobody really knows what it says yet. And you guys pulled it from Natalie, right, to bring it back to work on it. So, I mean, it's still all up in the air to me.
I mean, we're building a house right now. It's on a 30% driveway slope. I'll admit, I don't want to come down it when it snows, but in this case, the one that we're building, there's no other option. I mean, we cut across. If we'd gone up the hill, we'd be at 100% slope. So I guess it's doable. It's not.
It's hard because if a person doesn't work in the business and doesn't, if someone always worked in a bakery and a machine shop, they don't understand construction and what you're going to deal with. And I would give an example that everybody can probably relate to. I'm not sure how familiar everybody is with Deering Ridge Road and Hooper Hill Road, but Hooper Hill Road right now, they're having all kinds of construction down the end. They're putting in catch basins and storm drains and everything else. Now, if that was a private landowner do that, they would say, okay, your driveway, which is Hooper Hill Road, which is a town road, say that was my driveway and I was doing that to my driveway, I, as an applicant of the town, would have to follow this driveway permit because it is a change, right? So now I would take Hooper Hill Road that already goes up like this, and I would go in 30 feet flat and then go up.
Make up your slope
which
then.
is like, and that's what this thing is going to do to the average guy in Waterboro. It makes it nice and flat from where the town is, but the poor taxpayer that's actually paying for the guy to fix the roads has to pay and deal with the driveway that's 3 times worse. And if you're going the other way down the hill, you'd come into your driveway 30 feet, and when you're about to hit the edge of the roof, you can start going down for your driveway. So you just kind of stop, pocket your roof line, and walk down the stairway. So the other thing is when they put the change of use, now it becomes a land control thing, because now they're taking up to 30 feet, it said at first, the width of the driveway up to 30 feet on your property, and then it says, or whatever else as determined by if it's more than 3 houses. So now it's becoming an ordinance as to tell you what you can do with your whole driveway. So if I have 2 houses on my driveway already, and my driveway's a mile long, and I want to put a 3rd house, I'm at the mercy of the road commission to tell me what I can do with my whole driveway going up to that 3rd house.
That's one thing
And
Natalie
that
said.
language is in there, and that's land use.
Yeah, that's one thing Natalie said, that you can't have language that saying that you can't have at the determination of an official. It's got to be standards. You can't leave it as a gray area. You know, you can't give it to one person, give you a thumbs up, thumbs down.
As it's drawn right now, I think it's an overreach by the town to grant itself those. I think the road review committee and everybody, they're trying to do the right thing for the town. There's no doubt. But I think they're very much focused on the town road and the town infrastructure. I look at it as being, the town road, the town infrastructure is important, but also the taxpayers that pay to keep this stuff up also have rights to use that. And you can't put unreasonable burdens on them. Their land can become worthless because they can't get access to it because their slope is too steep this way or slope is too steep that way, or they don't have proper sight distance. There's got to be something. Natalie did say you could go to Zoning Board of Appeals, but there's no language in Zoning Board of Appeals to address this. So this becomes a very complex issue, more so than just...
I see this as a plus, okay, because it's going to be flushed out, and you have a better understanding what's going on, and it's going to be a better product. It's frustrating, but we'll have a better product.
What do you see as the next step? It's been pulled from Natalie.
Yeah, and I assume, I have not seen, to be very honest with you, I have not, it could be something on my computer. The last 2 days,
You've been kind of busy.
Been busy?
I did not find it my computer out, but I don't know. I'll find out tomorrow and get back to you.
You know, as an example, remember what happened in Limerick with the bulk gas storage in F.R. Carroll?
Yeah.
And how nasty that got. The town was divided.
They just
the fire
resolved
chief
it.
was going to be arrested and dragged out of town hall, and they actually resolved that after 2 years. And I think the vote was something like 350 in favor of them buying a lot in their
In the industrial park.
Did you see what they paid for the lot?
18 grand.
Yeah.
But as an example, I mean, things might look a little bleak at times, but I mean, if they can pull that off, to me, that there's not much you can't do.
We're not going to go to that extreme, I hope.
No, but I mean, it might look bad at times, but it's a process I think you can get through.
I'm still willing to act in good faith with the road review committee. I'm hoping we'd be more well received the next time. It was pretty, you were there, Dave, so you saw it was pretty tense at first, and it wasn't very receptive, and what they threw back at us was something totally even more restrictive.
Well, that was a surprise to me. I didn't
So
understand.
I don't know how we can negotiate this. I'm thinking to myself, we should draft something, they should draft something, and a neutral third party should try to put some middle ground and see if either side can live with it.
Mediator.
I mean, a mediator.
I guess the biggest thing that I'm looking at is I want to see, instead of arbitrarily picking a number 30 feet in, is there a standard already that exists? Is there, ICC, NFPA? We could put those down because otherwise it just becomes, somebody's plucking a number out of the air and saying, what if you have a 34-foot RV? Now you can't make that turn from your flat to your angle because you can't make that, you'll bottom out.
Dave, when you do look at it, my concern is the gray areas where, it's just at somebody's convenience, or there's a lot of things that just aren't set in stone. And that's the part that bothers me. If we're going to have an ordinance, it needs to be cut and dry so people know what they're getting
It has
into.
to be approved or not approved, but you guys have the oversee of it.
Well, I'd like to see your opinion on it. Look for the gray areas and give us some suggestions of what you think is happy medium on it.
You might have to miss out on that, but we'll
Oh,
keep
that's
you up.
right.
We'll keep you up to date.
All right, Lee.
Both you guys.
You're next up.
When do you start your new jobs?
It's going to be hit and miss through December, and then come January, it's going to pick up pretty steady.
When do you have to resign?
I don't. Neither does Dave.
Oh, I thought you said you
No.
did.
That was for Congress.
Oh.
So, and there's a state. It's this thing about the state where if they appoint you to another position where you get paid and you're already in Congress,
It's a lay
or if
part-time
you're already
position.
Senate.
Oh,
But as
okay.
far as the municipalities, we're good to go.
All right.
That's cool.
I got your new nameplate made up.
Well, what about Dave?
Old business, change of zone request form. We have a public hearing coming up the 19th. But Tammy has included a copy of that public notice. I'm sure we'll fill the hall with that one. You never know.
The simpler it is, the more we fill the hall.
Would be
It's
nice.
been getting active in this town
I
lately.
think that'd be a pretty good thing. Now, under communication, we have zoning board of appeal, public hearing notice.
What's it for a front back? We didn't deny a front setback.
What do you-
For the ZBA, it's because of the code enforcement, they're asking for an administrative.
Oh, okay. I was like, we did.
Yeah.
You guys didn't, no. But
So this doesn't really
It's
involve
an
us.
I'm
No.
supposed to notify you.
Okay.
I just thought it'd be interesting. to
Thank
know.
you. Yeah, as long as we didn't make the decision, you
No.
can go to the meeting.
Yeah.
And we've talked about the email from Natalie regarding section 2.08. I think we're all pretty clear on that. I think it was a good process just to clear it up. For future reference. Contract zoning information.
Tom wanted you to have that because he heard back from Natalie regarding contract zoning. And for Tom, it's gonna be very costly for not only the town, but also for the community members to partake in the contract zoning. That's Natalie's description as to what you need to do, the process, the procedures, everything's in there for you. So we
Really?
wanted you to have it to review it.
Her
It
recommendation.
seemed pretty straightforward out of the
Yeah,
book.
I don't get it seems like you have to pay the public notice.
Yep.
It doesn't seem any different than if you're coming for a change of use.
Well, according
Issue-
to what Tom was saying, it was up to like $500 is what he had added up. Now, I haven't seen his figures, I haven't seen
Oh.
any listing of this, that, or what he used for.
Plus, it's something we would have to adopt,
Well,
correct?
you're talking about expensive being the fees and the amount of people that take it to make it.
Notifications.
But the ordinance itself or the zoning itself is pretty straightforward.
I mean,
They
that's
can't-
pretty-
That was my interpretation, but I'm not Tom.
What was the book you lent me offhand that I got out?
The Shoreline zoning book?
Yeah, it's in there. And
Yeah.
like, I think, what was it, page 18? I sent you that email. Bottom of page 18, it clearly sells contract zoning.
$500 for
And-
change zoning in any other town is dirt. It's dirt.
Well, we're only asking to
It's in the
cover,
thousands.
we're only asking to cover our,
Right.
people. We're not
If
asking
this,
for a
if this
profit
is,
margin.
if this is planning board sketch plan, the planning board, the application fee is $1,000. Just to get on planning board sketch plan, that's the fee.
Yeah.
When I came in to change for the hydrants, I had to provide a sketch plan, it was $1,000 fee, just to get in front of the board. So anytime you provide a sketch plan for planning board, just the application for that is $1,000 fee, or if you amend your plan, it's $1,000 fee. And that's what's been enforced in town for years and years. So if this is saying that,
It's only 500. That's ridiculous.
Plus, it can
well,
always change, I mean,
that's for the zoning change.
but we would
If it's
have
a
to,
sketch plan, like she's saying, like
would it
she's
be
saying
in
here,
this? Yeah.
it would be $1,000
Yeah.
application fee just to get the ball going.
and we would have to adopt this.
And we would have to be somewhat in tune with doing a contract zone.
I think Tom's point is that at least now we have a template if we
Yes.
decide to
Yes.
go ahead with it. That's the idea.
Have we heard anything from anybody that's thinking of doing it?
Just Katie.
With the,
I was trying not to reference cases.
The short version is that if we don't want to open up something like the AR where they can become a farm. Say somebody just wants to have a couple of pets, and we can say, we can put limits. Okay, you can have 2 horses, that's it. The zoning goes away when the people sell the property or it passed on to anybody out of their name, even family members. Once that name comes off the property, it goes right back to where it was. That way the rest of the area doesn't get hurt. Say you have a lot of people who want to build residential, they already have houses, but they don't mind their neighbor having a couple horses. Well, contract zoning gives us the ability to say, fine, we can give you the zoning for as long as you own your property. Once that person goes away, the zoning goes right back to square one.
It's just a license, that's all.
And also, because if we go AR, we say, well, okay, you only want 2 horses. Well, once we open it up, it's 30 pigs and 60 chickens.
In a marina.
Yeah.
In a marina.
By contract zoning, we can put limits on what goes on that property.
I don't
And that's what I like about it.
I don't want to get into this too much.
All right.
Yeah, exactly. It's
But
all just hypothetical right now.
Hypothetical. I don't like contract zoning anything.
Actually, it's
Zoning is there for a reason, and when you start doing contract, you open up all kinds
It's
of
spot
precedents
zoning.
for all kinds of preferences or whatever somebody's mood is in for that day. You're going to contract zone this for that. So at that point, you might as well take the zoning document and throw it out, because now you're just going to go piece by piece as to what this person wants to do with the property, and I want to change to this. And once you set a precedent of changing it for this or changing it for that, then who's to say that this isn't just as good for the town as that is for the town, or vice versa? So I don't think zoning is anything. I've been turned down for zoning setbacks of 2 feet.
Yeah.
You know, I have. I mean, I've gone in front of boards before, zoning board, and it says you got to prove why you need to have this done. Hardship,
Yeah.
the whole 9 yards, and for 2 feet, they want to build a
Yeah, but Andy,
24-foot wide garage, and they're going to be 30 feet from the sideline, and we can only be 28. All we want is 2 feet. All the neighbors have signed off, and the answer is no,
Yeah.
because the zoning is the zoning.
This is for using their properties. I mean, if you got 5 acres,
It's still the zoning.
Zoning.
I like it. I think it's a good way to let people enjoy their
Contract
property
zoning was
without
typically
not
done
lock-
for like
not locking down.
Walmarts and shopping saves
yeah.
that are building a shopping
I'll tell you
center, and they're coming in.
We'll pick this up another time, because there is a very short, concise on page 18 of I keep forgetting
Something
that
we
word.
can have a workshop
Good
about.
subject for,
Okay.
outside
Please.
discussion.
All right, workshop.
All right, contract zoning. Now, we have a last minute addition, believe it or not. The Carpenter Estates wants to come back in. They want to do a site walk. They want to get that completed in the next few weeks.
I'm gonna butter, so.
Oh, that's right. Dwayne's
Can I
out
go
there.
sit over there and ask? Should I go sit over there? That's the first time I.
Well, I
see
don't think
I
we're
was
going
just
to
curious.
schedule anything tonight anyway. I
What's-
think this is something we should take up at the
What was the sidewalk for?
19th. That's a good question.
I
I'd like
think,
to
I
have some
think what
more.
we're going to do with the Carpenter Estate is I don't believe they're coming back to us with the same plan they had
Exactly.
before. They've sold some of the property.
Yeah.
So it's a
I
new-
think that they
So
had
it'd be
2
willing to
lots
let
of
them
record,
know,
one on
I
each side of the
mean,
street. They were in separate ownership. And I think once
they
they realized that, they realized they
What
didn't
is
need
this?
planning board approval for one side of the street because they could just carve it off. It's been 5 years. And so now they're only going to come back on one side. So I guess what would be in front of the board, I think, what should be in front of the board is it a continuation of the plan or is it a new plan?
It's a new plan.
Exactly. And I think
so
this
if that's
is,
the case, they should be coming to us with sketch plan, get on the agenda.
and this is putting the cart way ahead of the horse.
And in putting the cart right out there where it belongs, what is this seen and agreed to line?
What is that?
I'm not sure.
It's
To me,
under the second highlighted section.
Why don't I have this?
So
It's right here.
I think that they need to go back to the drawing board and come with a new plan, and we'll take it from there. Make an appointment and start the process over again.
Because if they're coming back with the same plan, it's fine, but if they're coming back with a different plan,
Well, if they've split off some lots, doesn't that change the plan?
yeah.
Yeah.
If it was a 5-lot subdivision, now it's only a 3-lot subdivision, it's a different plan.
So if they can demonstrate that somehow the plan that they first came in with has not been changed, then that's coming back with the old plan. But if there's anything different about this plan, it's a new plan.
we know it's changed because they've already built the house.
Yes. Oh, the house is there already?
Yeah.
Yeah. on the
Is there
far
any way
corner.
we can look at it as being an amended plan? I don't know. I don't think so. At this point, the time has gone by.
New.
I mean, yeah, the lot that's got the house on it would still be, it would be a lot of record. It would have to be numbered as part of the subdivision, but it's allowable because the 1 and 5.
Wonder how far back that goes, when the last time was we saw them.
It
It's
was
been quite a while.
springtime.
It's been a couple of years, I think.
No, I got the file at the house, so I still got a
Yeah.
folder on them. I got all my notes on them still.
Okay.
Well, my argument was in the letter from Tammy. or from the surveyor on
Francis
this.
Lapierre.
When apparently there was a meeting with Tom
Tom and Doug.
and Doug
And them.
and them,
They pulled me in because I hadn't seen a subdivision yet.
and they're talking about meeting with Doug to discuss the results, and they asked, can you get something from them, from Doug, in writing? Or can he do this seen and agreed to line? I'm not gonna do a seen and agreed to. He's a public works director, put the stuff in writing.
Yeah, I actually had a conversation with a few people in town, and I'm not going to mention them, well, I can. I had a conversation with Tom Herscher, and I said, I would like to have the planning board notified whenever there's going to be a meeting between the fire chief, the road commissioner, concerning subdivision or proposed use, because these are public meetings that anybody can attend. And I get clarity on that these meetings are open to the public, they're held here in Town Hall, and planning board doesn't even know they're going on. And so I asked Tom to notify the planning board when these meetings occur, and I didn't see why a planning board member cannot attend. Even if a planning board member is not part of the actual review committee, at least to be there and witness what's going on, so that that member can bring back to the board information at the meeting. Say, I was at that meeting and I know how that transpired.
Yes. However, when you get done with the meeting with an applicant and Tom and the public works director,
Still have up in writing.
I want something in writing.
Yeah.
I don't want this he said, she said stuff.
Yeah.
You know how that works around.
Well, that doesn't change. That doesn't change being there as well. But it's going to be hard to get something out of writing, and they should be. Fire chief should have something in writing.
I think it's
Road commissioners have something in writing. Period.
Yeah.
I think it's
And
ridiculous.
it's not. It shouldn't be reviewed by us unless it is in writing.
Yes.
I mean, we've got paid officials, and they take 2 months to write a letter that says we approve or disapprove. I mean, it's. And
Well, not only that, but in site plan, there is no committee.
right.
Until they change site plan, there's the town planner and the CEO, period. There is no review committee.
But we just get
Sorry
no
to interrupt.
we get no documentation. We have all these meetings and we know nothing about them.
I mean,
Supposedly, we're supposed to be informed now, and I would ask Tammy that if she's aware of them, make us informed so that I or Tim or somebody
Whoever's
can attend
available.
the meeting, and at least we know what's happening.
But 5 years from now, when somebody comes in and says, what the heck is going on with this? I don't want to say, well, I think somebody had a meeting. I want to be able to sit there, pull out a piece of paper and say, there was a meeting and that was what was discussed.
Exactly, yeah.
And that's what they agreed
That's the way
to.
it should be.
So it sounds like they should have minutes.
yeah, they should
That's a
exactly.
great idea.
And we should get the minutes.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
Called documentation.
And I mean, something else we got to look at in ordinances too is when an applicant comes to us, there's X number of days that the town has to submit a response in writing back to the applicant.
Yeah.
I mean, Dollar General is a classic case. We didn't see it like you said, but it's been here for 6 weeks, and we still don't have a letter from the fire chief or the road director. And it's like, come on.
How long has the campground been in?
Yeah,
Well-
exactly.
And we're in the same boat. I
And-
guess fire
and no
chief changed his
documentation.
position on it last time, and we don't have an upgraded letter on that
Yeah.
from the workshop we had.
Well, I think what's happening is, and Andy's run into it in other towns, is they use that, they hold you back from the planning board as a way to make you make changes.
Yeah.
Right, and it's
You're not seeing the planning board until you do what they want you to do.
They don't put you on the agenda.
And it's not appropriate.
And that's why I want to go to these meetings, to make sure that when an applicant wants to be on the agenda, he's allowed to be on the agenda.
Yep.
I know in many towns that I was refused to be put on the agenda until I had come to terms with the fire chief or somebody else in town that, no, you've got to satisfy these parts of the requirements before we can even get you on the agenda. That's part of the, and this is what they're going to be expecting of you. So there's a lot of leverage behind the scenes.
If that
which-
process is documented, okay, but it's not documented like that.
Well, it's not documented, and it's not advertised.
And it's not business friendly.
it's also not legal.
Hey,
Right.
We don't have anything that says they have to do that.
I just want to see a change. That's all I want to see it. And I can sense from the applicants that are coming in front of us, the campground, Dollar General, they went through quite a process before they even got to the board. And it's like the board is just acting as like a rubber stamp because everything's been decided by the time they hit us. So we've got to get involved with the applicant sooner, I think. And I don't think we should be denying an applicant or leveraging
Stalling
an
it
applicant not to come in front of the board if the applicant says, I don't agree with that and I want to be in front of the board.
Yeah.
And he should be allowed to come in front of the board.
Yep.
And the board can tell him, hey, yes or no.
Because
It isn't always this much fun.
Well, I'm just watching.
Okay, I just let you know.
What should you now do to get to where you want to go?
well, as far as site plan goes, it's already in the ordinance. What's being done is not following the ordinance.
Okay, so let's follow up on it and have the right.
And notify Gary that
Thank you.
this thing of our applicants being intercepted by other town officials is not legal.
I think it's done. It's done in all the towns.
Well,
You meet with the city, you meet with the town planner before you get to planning board.
right, but that's in here. Town planner,
That's it,
CEO, that's it.
That's it.
There is no review committee, no ad hoc committee. You can't make it up as you go along. If you want to do that, then change the ordinance.
And there's absolutely no reason not to have documentation from those
Right.
meetings. How many times does Tom sit here and tell us he's met with them for 6 times?
At a
And
min-
what was said?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
At a minimum, we should have rough minutes of
Yep.
these meetings.
Yes.
And I think it's better if one of us attend,
That would be nice.
you know, and that would be nice, you know. And I think as long as we're not going 3 members or more, it's not a meeting,
Right.
you know. And whether that person can contribute or not, I don't know what the procedure is. I'm not even gonna fight about that. I just wanna know what's going on.
What we've always done is, say on subdivision, we'll send out to the fire chief. We'll let him know what's going on. We'll give him a copy of the plan. What was the road commission and now Department of Public Works. You know, these are advisory positions and we will involve them on everything important. But it comes from the board and their recommendations come back to the board. This thing of meeting with the applicants is not appropriate.
The applicants come in here, they've met with them 3 or 4 times, and we haven't got a clue what they're talking about.
They should be channeling their recommendations
Yes.
through the board. And I know that that's spelled out in the site plan. I'll have to look into it more for subdivision and,
Well, maybe we need to spell it out more.
We just need to be documented. We need to be,
Yes.
the whole way through, it's got to be documented. It's got to be defendable.
well, I like it being done in the open. It needs to be done in the daylight, not in the back rooms. I mean, we have an obligation to serve the public in the daylight, in the open, not these backroom deals.
Okay.
Tammy, is there anything that we're missing, or?
Are you caught up with your shorthand?
It's a good thing I write big.
Motion to adjourn.
Hey, I gotta add one thing. I've gotta say this. I actually found out we had a new member to the planning board, so I went down to the Cozy Corner Cafe, had a great breakfast. The staff down there was fantastic.
They're great people.
The meal was great. So I just want to put a plug in that people in Waterboro ought to go down. He's going to be a member of the planning board. He's going to serve his community. We ought to support his restaurant. I went down there Sunday and it was a great breakfast.
Yes.
And I hadn't been. I lived in Waterboro. I'm
That's all I
sorry, but
mentioned.
I've been here 10 years. I hadn't gone. I hadn't gone, but I truly enjoyed the breakfast. It was very good crowd, very, very pleasant atmosphere.
Yeah.
And he's got a very nice looking building for our
It is a historic building.
historic building. It
Oh,
looks
yeah.
very nice.
There's pictures inside of that.
And
Wait, wait, wait.
Probably the only phone booth in town.
thanks for the
I didn't notice.
But my argument was when we doing these design standards coming up
Yeah.
and the peak roofs, I go, wait a minute,
Yes.
that ain't a
That ain't a
That's
peak
a
roof.
flat
I
roof.
brought, it ain't a
The-
peak
the
roof.
building across the
I've
street,
been collecting pictures.
the
I've got
building
a lot
across
of
the
flat
street
roofs.
certainly
Why,
was.
why don't we
No, no
adjourn?
kidding.
We'll
and
adjourn,
then
yeah.
we'll continue
go.
the conversation.
So
Free
moved.
commercial.
So,
Do we have a motion to
Motion to
adjourn?
adjourn.
Yes.
Second.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Yeah.
We adjourn.